Ladies and gentlemen, I am Melvin Banks.
And this is Ito.
And we are the Carbonation Conversation, reviewing HBO's limited series, We Own This City, episode 2?
Yes. Part 2.
Hey! And if you like what you are listening to, like what you're hearing, don't forget to subscribe, comment, like, ring that bell. Hit us up on Instagram for some beer recommendations and alcohol recommendations for that matter, and all that good stuff.
Even show recommendations.
Exactly. And don't hesitate to hit up Mo in the description below as always. Man, this is some heavy shit in this series.
Yes.
And I remember saying last episode I was gonna be non-biased. I can't do it. I'm sorry. I'm not saying I'm gonna be all cop hater here, but god damn, I did like a quick Google and YouTube search because I wanted to see how close this was to what actually happened. Yeah. Oh my god,
yes.
It is like 98 point. I was like, oh my, and this happened? I just ruined the series for myself. But okay, it's cool. I ain't finna go there.
Did you see a picture of what they actually look like?
Yeah, they look pretty fucking similar. Especially Commissioner Davis.
Yeah, that one, right?
Holy shit, he talks just like him too. So
crazy.
that was pretty crazy. So, my mom was listening to episode 1. She said, you kind of curse a lot. Tone it down a little bit. But she actually was like, it was so confusing. She wanted like a quick little timeline of what's going on. So I want to take at least a good 2 minutes to tell the people, if they're a little bit confused, how this shit all started. This all started because a Caucasian girl overdosed. Obviously, we know Nicole Steele was doing the DOJ thing. That's something separate. But Caucasian girl overdose. McDougal and his partner were interviewing, trying to see the cause of this, because this was around the time where it was like an epidemic on that type of overdose. It hit the Caucasian community pretty hard. And basically, what they end up finding out is the drug dealer who was selling this really good ass heroin, I guess it was Anderson. They put a tracker under Anderson's car. What they found out was another tracker was under Anderson's car. And they connected the tracker to Mandu, G-Money. And basically, I don't think I need to say anything else other than...
and Anderson, basically, his hookup, who he went away from,
yes,
he's the one that told Mandu about him, G-Money about him.
Yes, exactly.
And that's how it was all set up.
Mm-hmm. So, and not only that, McDougal I'm sorry, McDougal also contacted the feds for assistance because he was like, this shit is getting a little bit wild, right. So let's contact the feds. So it's crazy to trip out because you had IAD first, you had Baltimore County, now you got the BPD that they are concerning around, and the FBI, and then the DOJ is coming over for a totally different reason because they're looking at just cop complaints.
Yeah, at the same time, you got to realize this is back and forth year, so not everything is going on at the same time.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
But the shit is like fucking crazy. Yeah. So let's start.
First, Happy New Beer.
Yes, the new beer. And we have...
Still on birthday week. So
Stella!
Back to Stella! And don't I owe you a shot for something?
Yes, I do. Apparently, I was right. I don't like to toot my own horn a lot. But at the end of the previous episode, and this was actually what the commissioner actually said. Mm-hmm. He went into the interrogation room, saw Wayne, looked him dead in his eye because all the other officers were so ashamed at what they've done. They even looked down, looked right, at least said they were sorry. Yeah. Wayne looked him dead in his eyes, just like, what?
Like what?
Fuck you.
Why am I here?
You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, why, you know what I'm saying? You know who I am? John Barathon is awesome.
Just want to note that so far you've cursed more than me.
That is true. I'm sorry, Mama.
Here's my penalty shot.
Okay.
Right
I'm pretty sure I'm gonna owe you some in the future, whatever we review. So here what we see is a little bit of reflection from Wayne here.
Yeah. You know? It starts off. They're basically bringing Wayne handcuffed to the interrogation room.
Mm-hmm. He's out talking shit,
doing his talking shit stuff, you know. Is this when he sees old boy?
I believe so. I really
He's like, hey,
wanna
keep
say
your mouth
that.
shut.
Yeah,
You know
because
what I
he's
mean?
like, hey, we ain't gonna. He at least was talking about him. He's like, man, this is so the one day for me here.
Right.
You know, because I ain't tell him nothing. And I will say, this is kind of what. It's hard for me to explain because everybody fucking does this. You got a new job. You know, because we're going back now.
Yeah.
We're going when Wayne was, you know, a training officer back in
August 18,
2003,
2003,
right?
yeah.
So, every fucking job does this. And the best advice I ever got on the job was like almost 10 years ago when somebody was like, you see all these old motherfuckers here? Do not do what they tell you to do. You know what I'm saying? Because usually, everybody is guilty of it.
Yes.
There's a right way to do it. But this is how we do it.
Our way of doing it.
You know what I'm
right.
saying? Or even like, yeah, you could take an hour to clean up these boxes, or we can kind of chill out, take an hour and a half, get a little more time.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not, I don't want to, again, I'm trying to be unbiased here. I'm not trying to put this out on the cops because it is a very fucking human thing. I've even been the victim
Because
of.
even in the show, you see there are good cops out there.
Yeah,
you know
what I'm saying? And shit, like I said, I've even been a victim of, this is going to take a little bit too long. I know I was supposed to leave at 2, but I think this is going to take me to 3:30.
Right.
You know, I got kids to feed. You know
Exactly.
what I mean? But anyways, we go and we see Wayne first day on the job, out of training,
Yep.
it seems like. And he meets his training officer, which I didn't catch his name. Barber. And basically, even
First thing he says to him, you can throw all that stuff from the academy out the front door.
Yeah.
This is Baltimore.
Exactly. Forget all that fucking police training. And even before that, the reason he says this is because I don't know if it's the chief, whoever the fuck, I'm assuming chief or captain,
Yeah.
he's basically saying like, hey, this is what we got to do. We got to clear the streets because their theory is around this time that there's so much gang violence and shit going on. If you at least just clear the streets,
Yeah.
no one can kill each other.
The whole task at hand is to empty the corners. Better use your handcuffs.
Yeah, and
That's what he
so,
tells him.
and so that's an interesting theory. You know
So
what I'm saying?
it's a numbers game, quota. You know how that bullshit goes. It don't matter how many cases stick. It matters the arrest numbers when it comes to the cops.
Yep, and the fact that nobody's dying. So that definitely brings the numbers down.
Pattern of people being released only to be put back in jail.
And so that is pretty fucked up to say because obviously if you're just walking, just chilling, just doing your thing, your ass could be swooped up and arrested for no reason, taken to jail. Me and you out on the porch chilling, you know, in front of your own house could possibly be taken to jail. So that's a little bit, fucked up
and
shit.
Politics play a huge part of the corrupt system.
Yes,
you know what I mean? It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like they want you to stop this, but their policies still allow you to do it. It's kind of crazy. You know, it's just so fucked up.
And we see that during like the one of the arrests that him and Barbara does at the beginning. This wasn't the one where he tells him about the overtime and everything. But he's just like, hey, because Wayne is just like, and we see this is what's so fucked up. For all intents and purposes, Wayne walked in there saying, sir, like he's been in the military.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He came in there fresh. And what happens when you're just in a corrupt... Is it your fault? Like, you know what I'm saying?
And
like,
I say it's both. It's you being trained, and it's your own personality, because you could take how someone trains you and look at it a certain way and
true.
change it how you want to do it.
You have a
Otherwise, you
choice.
could be just look at everything like, this is how it is.
And
you know what I mean?
Man. And it's so fucked up because we're going to talk about it a little bit later, but I finally understand what no good deed goes unpunished is, because even when you do the right thing, in this world, you're fucked. There is no Commissioner Gordon
Right,
here.
of course.
You know what I'm
Of
saying?
course.
Nobody that's going to be like, I see what y'all doing, I'm not going to participate, just leave me the fuck alone. You can't do that. It's either you join, or, you know what I'm saying, you get shipped off somewhere like my boy Wiley or Willis or whatever the fuck his name was, who we're going to talk about later, but it is just so fucked up.
It is. And it's like they take you to August 25th, 2003, where you see how the charges are dropped on the spot. Instead of giving people court dates, they send the assisting state's attorney to look for false reports, which is... You know what I mean? Any little thing, you gotta go. We can't put this in trial.
And what's
it's
so
gonna
crazy?
get dropped. So, you know,
What's
automatically.
so crazy is you get arrested, you mad as hell, and then you see the assistant state's attorney. She tells you it's bullshit. You can go if you just sign this waiver to not to sue the police for wrongful arrest.
Yes.
Or you could literally wait 24 hours to see a judge and move through the courts.
Yes.
Who wants to wait that long? Though? You know
In
what
jail.
I'm saying? Like,
Especially
exactly.
if people got problems or enemies and all that
You know what I'm
stuff.
saying? Like, motherfucker, you could be trying to work. People lose their job because they get
even though some of the people they arrest might be gangbangers, they're still arresting them for something they didn't do at the time.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So it still doesn't count.
Yeah,
then we go to May 20th, 2004.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where you see Wayne and Barbara pull up to a group of black guys and search them for no reason.
Yep.
Only one of them has weed on them, and they're like, you know what? Let's charge them all.
Yep.
That's a number. That's numbers right there. Instead of one guy, we got 5 or 6.
Exactly.
You know?
Because basically what he was saying was, what Barbara was saying was, they won't approve you for overtime, for 911 calls, or petty neighborhood arrests.
Right.
How to get over in the system is overstock the list of people who need to be seen in court.
Right.
And you get paid for the day you arrest them and the fucking court day. So he was just like, and it does pause there.
Yeah.
I want to say, I think you went a little bit ahead, but I love it.
Well, yeah, like I said, we talked about this. Right now we're doing Wayne.
Oh, okay,
you know
okay,
I mean?
cool. And so, because it does go for it, because we see him with the crab shit.
Right, yeah, this is when he goes basically to barbecue. He's embarrassed.
He decides, I'm taking all these motherfuckers and goes
he's embarrassed.
back and shows him why.
Right.
Say, motherfucker, Wayne, brother, if you came to my barbecue and spent $46 on some crabs, brother, I would love you for. Well, I don't give a fuck how small them crabs are. We be eating them motherfucking crabs. Fuck them, Wayne. But we see how they just shit on him.
Yeah.
And then we're introduced to Mikey Fries. It seems like he's his superior. He's well known, and we're also introduced to his bail bondsman friend. I think his name is Mike. If I may be mistaken on that. But the point of the story is that Wayne does feel embarrassed. He feels insulted, especially when. Please correct me if I'm wrong. The bail bondsman name is maybe Mike. He opened up his cooler because after they were shitting like, damn, look at the size of these fucking crabs.
Yeah.
Mike was just like, open the cooler, like, look what I got. Love his accent.
Yeah.
I don't know what accent that is, but he's like, man, we got some steaks here. There's some New York strips right there, man. I was like, oh, I fucking love that shit. And he's just like, man, help yourself. So it does go back to Wayne. And then Wayne is just like, hey, let's take all these motherfuckers.
Right.
Hey, we're going on a ride.
So yeah, because of that that definitely pushes him.
Yeah.
And then you go to October 2015, and it's showing the new commissioner who's talking plainclothes policy and talking about a person who's been relieved of their duties, recently suspended, and then Wayne basically makes a remark like, "Free him,"
Yeah, when I think his name was Fabian. I think that was him because. I do know he was the guy that they were talking about when he was telling Nicole about the two guys who he's like, it's Herschel and this guy.
Yeah.
This guy has sustained complaints. That was that guy.
Exactly.
Apparently he was fucking recording. I was like, Rick, you're a cop. Apparently he was recording like the attorneys or the witnesses when they were coming out of court, and you hear Wayne is just like, free my brother, and then the commission officer says, like, tell that motherfucker to come over.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is this dude? He must not know who I am. You know what I'm saying? And he goes over. And basically he kind of, I don't want to say he reprimands him, but he does kind of, I like the way he does talk to him because he's like, what the fuck was that? And while he's waiting on the answer, he's on his phone. So he's like, I don't give a, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm disrespecting you like you fucking did me. In the meantime, I'm pretty sure Wayne ass is just like, you gonna be gone in a year. Because that's the same thing that Davis told Nicole. Like, hey, man, like my job, like my intimidation factor don't work.
That's the whole thing, right?
You know,
so, hey, Happy New Beer.
We got so many beers on this table.
So now we go to Nicole. Nicole Steele.
Yeah, and
Peers, basically her peers are showing her the verse to Young Moose, basically calling out Herschel. Talking shit to Herschel on his verse. And, even the white guys are over
I know,
it's little hip-hop wannabe. I'm like, really?
I was like, hey, you know what? I'm going to do a shout-out to those dance moves. Shout-out to those dance moves by my boy over there.
I was wondering what the shout-out would be, but yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah.
Shout-out to those dance moves.
Now, what I did realize is Young Moose is a real rapper. And he really did rap about Herschel. And he really did experience that shit in Baltimore.
Yes.
So
Yes.
really just wanted to throw that out there.
That is crazy. I didn't actually look that up, and I didn't really think to. That, it's all based on true shit.
What's
I just
so
didn't
crazy
think about looking it
is
up.
I do want to mention this also because I do think it's a great listen to for people who listen to podcasts. HBO decided to do a podcast only special for this series. The creator of this is doing an episodic series.
Really?
Yes, and they release it's on HBO. You can
I didn't
actually
even know
watch it
that.
on TV, but you can listen to it on TV.
Yeah, of course.
Or you can do it on YouTube. But yes,
Wow, I did not know that.
yeah, it's actually pretty incredible because you got John Barenthal. He was on the first episode and he was just talking, and he's just such an incredible dude. I just at least wanted to mention that.
He
But so what Nicole does is she goes and tracks young.
Yeah, she meets with the lawyer, Drummond.
Mm-hmm. And he's like, "Hey, you want to know about cops? Really?" And he's like, "Okay, but I just want to let you know, whatever he says, if he don't want it on the record, it doesn't have to be." So he said something.
She's just like, I just want to talk to him,
And I was supposed to look up episode 3. I'm gonna look up what exactly a fucking consent decree is. I have no idea what that is. I got y'all next episode. A little bit of 1 minute education. I always felt like I could be explaining something and then you're chugging a beer while I'm explaining, but I think you would finish before I finish, so it would work. Your ass, boom, done. I'm like, and. But yeah, so she goes and meets Young Moose at a bar, or it seems like a bar or a restaurant.
Right.
And he's just basically, telling her his experience about the Gone Task Force.
And she's like, well, he's just one of many.
Yeah.
He ain't the only one, but that's the one I experienced.
And she goes, well, tell me something else. He's like, man, they steal. He's like, oh, you didn't know that? These motherfucking cops steal, bro. And as she's leaving the place after she's talking to him, she gets a call. And she gets a call. I did write his name down. I just don't know where he is. Oh, Stanley. Stanley. She gets a call from Stanley.
Who's a cop, and he wants to meet with her.
Yeah, and then first she goes, like any, normal black person. How the fuck you get this number? And then he goes, I'm Boston. And he's like, Boston, wow. I'm Baltimore PD, man. Just looked you up. So they agreed to meet. And he basically, so when I said no good deed goes unpunished, you can't be a Commissioner Gordon in real life.
Right.
This is what happens, and it sucks.
Yeah.
And it's just, and this is what makes motherfuckers in any job never want to come forward.
Exactly.
You see sexual harassment,
He was
racial
tired.
shit.
He was tired of the corruption and spoke up, and they threw his ass in the middle of nowhere.
And man, like, bro, like that's what I'm saying. Like, really, and I'm hoping. I don't know if Stanley's a real officer in real life, but I'm really hoping
I'm
that
pretty sure
after this whole bombshell, he was able to get his life back.
Right?
Because I would
not
be
that
so
he didn't have a
fucking
life together.
mad.
They just put him in some bullshit ass post.
Bro, but could you imagine you go, graduate college, criminal justice, you want to be a detective, and
I know.
then on your way,
it's basically
you get
passion. It's basically passion. Like if they throw you somewhere, you're making easy money. Some people are like, yeah, you know what, it's easy money, but some people just have that passion. Like I don't want to be here. I want to be here helping and solving crimes.
He's probably the people that we need in the in every community.
Yeah, he's telling her that apparently bringing in bodies is the number one.
Mm-hmm. As long as you arrest them,
you know what I mean? That's all that matters.
That does make a lot of sense because we can get to that later.
Yeah,
but anyways,
losing trust in the community.
Yes, because I was about to go. Because it's kind of like the situation here in Chicago.
Yeah.
Like the attorney wants better numbers, you know what I'm saying? The mayor wants better numbers, and that's forcing the police to do stuff that you probably really won't want them to do instead of getting to know each other.
Exactly, and that's why
that's fucked up.
And that's why you see police getting off with shit, getting away with stuff. You know what I mean?
That's why you can honestly see police getting fucking tired. They're just like, bro, like, can you stop micromanaging me?
It brings you to the first
degree?
episode where Nicole watches two guys trying to arrest somebody, and they just let them go because people
they could have been criminals. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I'm just saying, just for argument's sake, these motherfuckers could have been straight the fuck up criminals.
But the cops?
But I'm saying the people.
Oh, it was just one guy. It was one guy that they were trying to arrest, and he was resisting. And people,
I'm sorry.
I'm talking about those two cops, and everybody surrounding them with the cameras, and they're trying to arrest one guy, and she's watching it. She recorded it.
I'm thinking there was two guys. was my fault. But yeah, but we also get another confrontation. Willis tells a story about the kid.
Yes.
And we didn't see exactly what happened that made him get the mark on his head. He looked like my motherfucking brother when he was young.
Yeah, they said it was him being harassed by 5 cops with one kid. And he had a knife on him, but next thing you know, he's got the scar on his fucking forehead.
And they picked the right. I know that black dude from a lot of fucking TV shows and movies.
And she meets with him and everything, you know, right?
She meets with the kid. He's describing, and then he's just walking through. They pull him over. They go, "Hey, you have a hoodie on?" He's like, "Bro, ain't nobody around." It's like, "Oh, hoodie in a dangerous neighborhood," and basically search the boy like you said. He had a little pocket knife, and they go, "Oh, you got a little pocket knife." And at first, I thought as black officers, because I'm black, I saw him trying to calm down the situation at first. He was like, hey, relax, calm down. And then as soon as the white officer flicked up the knife and was just like, hey, this is a weapon, dude was just like, bro, you said it yourself. It's a high crime area. I gotta have protection. The black officer flick. Oh, this little motherfucker talking shit. Let's take his ass to jail. And it was on from there. I was just like, bro, fuck. And basically, I don't know how he got the scar on his head.
Yeah, they don't show it, but you could tell that I'm pretty sure they took his knife and sliced his fucking head.
Like,
that's basically what it
man, I thought they just slammed his head. Bro, that is so much more sinister. I hope that's
they made a point to say he had a knife.
Oh,
so to me, that was the point. He had a knife. They took his knife and sliced his forehead. Jesus. But right now, let's go to.
Doesn't she meet?
Yeah, we'll go to that.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
I have it a certain way. You know what I mean?
No, go ahead. I'm following you today, baby.
We're going in Detective Sean Suter.
Okay.
He goes and he sees G Money. Basically, he sees G Money in his car roll up on him.
Yeah, because him and his partner, they're looking for, because they got to look for like an old ass car.
Right.
That's all the way in the back. And
Right. G Money rolled up like more like a hood nigga than a damn, you know what I mean?
Bro, I swear, I was just about to say, if there is any cop name, anything with the end of it being money.
You're right.
I ain't even want to take a little look.
Exactly.
He goes up all slick and he's like, hey, what you do? You still over there doing that thing?
How much money you make this shit?
He's like, oh no, I'm doing homicide. He's like, homicide? Oh, so you working an angle on them bodies? I was like, bro, he's like, man, my overtime alone. Like, even the way he said, like, man, I get money. I was just like,
yeah.
Can you elaborate? Because you almost told on yourself.
But you already know. The thing is, Suter knows. Sean knows.
Yeah.
And, and that's why he went to do what he was. You know what I mean?
And they look just a fucking like. Did you see how they looked? Him, the actor and Suter? Fucking just a.
Oh, really? No, I didn't see that.
I was like, oh my God. But
yeah.
He was originally on the force, like you were saying.
Yeah. So that's how he knows already. You know what I mean? So it's not like it's a surprise to him, and that's why G Money even talking shit to him, because he knows. So anyway, Suter handles a murder case of a young black man named Kendall.
Yep.
Shot in his backyard, putting up a fence to prevent drug dealers from walking through his damn yard.
It is so interesting because he ends up working the case alone. His partner gets called out, and he's like, hey, this is my first case, right? Captain don't even know my motherfucking name, but okay.
Yeah, right.
So he's going there, he's doing his thing, he's doing his little investigative work. Are we going through Suter's story? I just want to ask you.
Isn't that mainly it with Suter?
Yeah. Does he go? No, yeah, you're right.
That's it with Suter here.
Yeah, you're right.
So,
I didn't watch
Happy New Beer real quick. Now we're on to McDougal.
Mm-hmm.
McDougal's question, oh boy, what's his name again? Anderson?
Yes.
Anderson, who believes his former collect Antonio was behind the robbery of his crib.
Yeah, he basically thinks like Brill and his boys robbed him.
Yeah, he basically talks about the relationship between Antonio and G Money.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this was more than just an informant type of relation. This was some deep connection, family type shit, you know?
Mm-hmm. And so they start, looking at each other, and isn't the next scene they all have a conversation? They all sit at a table.
Yeah, it's like been weeks since they found that tracker, and no one has called it in.
Mm-hmm. So now at this point, they assume, like the FBI they assume basically the original investigation was just about getting heroin. Now they're talking about doing a spin-off investigation on the actual Baltimore police, and they just want to have everybody in that room, the team. You know what I'm saying? They're like, hey, we're going to do Jensen, which is the female. He's like, we're going to do her, we're going to do him. So they're all cool with it and everything.
Then the FBI decided to interview this guy, Sergeant Glenn, about G-Money, because they used to work with him. And he basically regrets not following his gut about G-Money, that he just didn't do it. And then G-Money and Antonio were much closer than a cop insider man relationship.
Yeah, and I will say he did put in the report, but it seems like the FBI agent who was on the case back in the day just didn't give a fuck.
Or maybe it was the FBI agent, maybe it's just his superior officer, because his superior officer could be just as crooked, so who knows, you know what I mean?
Exactly. And so basically Jensen is talking to him about the subject, and like you said, he was just like, man, everybody knew that Brill was selling, but Gondo, for whatever reason, was just like, no, he's a good dude. And so now they're basically putting a case together.
Right.
They're putting a case together for a fucking wiretap. Basically they're trying to figure out a way, and they're just like, hey, shit, we're about to see if we can fucking wiretap Gondo's car, maybe his phone, and all that shit. And so at this point, again, where do you want to go from here?
Now we're going to Jamal speaking to the FBI.
Okay. Now I got a lot to say about
even he's talking about even the sergeant was involved in the corruption.
Now I'm all about like people doing bad things should get arrested, but I'm also all about if you're gonna do some bad things with a group of people, you better keep your motherfucking mouth shut. I mean, this motherfucker implicated.
So was G-Money in the first episode.
Yeah, but at least he was doing that shit on the phone, right?
No, he wasn't. He was in the room with them.
This was after he was arrested. Yeah, that's true. I would
remember we're going back and forth.
Oh yeah, that is true.
That's what tripped me out. Kind of confusing here and there, but yeah.
But yeah, my boy, I mean, he didn't know. At least G-Money didn't mention Ehlers. This dude just threw his captain under the bus. Who's in the DEA now?
Right.
Like, oh my, I would be
threw him under. All about overtime.
All I'm saying is this: if you're gonna do some dirty, and you're doing it as a team, unless they got you all motherfuckers on camera, then you be like, okay, you got me.
Yeah.
But don't sell So, I mean, Wayne, don't say shit.
Everybody. He tells a story about when they took $11,000 back in 2009 from this dude car which
really happened.
Right. And it was for something for his crib. Refinancing.
Yeah, right. He was like refinance. And what's so crazy is when they pulled him over, he's like, what up, blood? I was like, really? Did he just say that?
Yes, he did.
What up, blood? He's like, okay. All right. Refinancing your house. Yeah, okay. He's like, did you
straight
take
up took that shit.
Hell yeah, I took that 11,000. Like Ito said, he basically implicated everybody.
Oh yeah.
And then he talks about
how he was caught with cocaine, and the case was dropped.
Yeah, and he's just like, because IAD is basically well known in Baltimore. They can't get they just basically can't solve no puzzles. So they missed the Magoo.
So he was suspended for 2 years and then back on the streets like nothing.
Yeah,
with pay.
And when they put him back on the street, they happen to put him in the dirtiest unit in the world.
Exactly.
And then he was like, everybody, I gotta take one more shout out for this. Because I love what he said at the end. He was like, all these motherfuckers around me getting money, and you expect me not to get a piece? Shit, the fuck I look like? You got me fucked up. I bust out, start laughing. Because in all honesty, it takes even righteous people. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, it's very, very, very difficult to be in an area where everybody is doing dirty shit, and even though you are a good person, you be the one to stand up. It is hard, man. You know what I'm saying? It is way easier to just go with the fucking flow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? Like, again, one of the things I love about flawed people is that they're flawed. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like you can still be a good person, have good intentions, but shit just got out of hand, shit just got fucked up. And I do believe, like, when you, really, especially a black officer coming in, like, you know what I'm saying? You got, I'm not saying there probably wasn't any black superiors who weren't doing dirty, but you got predominantly white superiors. Like, this is how the shit goes. You know what I'm saying? This look at how they did my boy. What the fuck is his name? My boy Willis, right? Like, they just sent him the fuck off. Before I just want to talk to you for like 3 minutes about this shit. Is there anything else?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
I remember there was a flash to September of 2004.
Okay, let me look at my notes.
Where during an arrest, Wayne tells other cops to say he swung on them or they swung on him.
Yes, yep, you're absolutely right. It was funny. I did write this down. Fucking Ram ass call old boy that he stole his money from over 474 times. He was like, I didn't think y'all was smart enough to look at my calling log. They just
reckless as hell.
But anyways, yes, you're right. Wayne gets a call. As soon as they pull up, he goes driving. And basically, there are already 3 officers beating on this dude for loitering. That's what the officer said. Like, I told him to go in the house, and he didn't go in the house. So they are beating the shit out of this dude, right?
Yeah.
And then, I mean, this ain't funny, but it just goes to show. This is also like little prejudice here. He whips out the baton, and he's just beating the shit out of a leg that has joints. And unfortunately, it was one of his officers who forgot his work boots.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah,
I forgot about that. And then Wade goes, "Oh shit, I'm sorry. What the fuck you doing wearing those?" And the guy's just like, he forgot his work boots. Like his partner saying that, and Wayne's just like, "Man, I'm sorry, dude. I hit harder than a motherfucker." And he's like, "You know what? Go ahead." That's what I thought you mean. He's like, "Go ahead and attach that, man. Just say you hit."
Yeah. Say he swung on you. Say he swung on you, right?
God, bro, these motherfuckers out.
Then we go to February 7th, 2005, where Wayne is now the training officer and uses the same line that Barber said to his training, basically.
I'm just sorry. You don't do that with no Asian officer. What the fuck were you thinking?
But he did it.
I know he did it. I mean, come on. Now you got to at least do that with some of your... I guess he thought he was just a rookie. I was like, that motherfucker probably undercover. No. I already knew. Obviously, he wasn't.
He wasn't.
But I was just like...
He was a rookie officer. He did the same thing. Don't listen to the academy. This is Baltimore. Type of
man.
Shit.
And then we're gonna end
with Nicole. So we're gonna take a shout out to that.
Yeah,
Nicole is the shit. This is my shout out to Nicole.
Okay.
So she meets with Herschel. Talks about his complaints. Just doing my job. They're criminals, of course. They're lying. Why are you going to believe a criminal over a cop? I'm just trying to clean up the streets. She said, I'm not here to investigate you. I'm just trying to learn what you do day to day.
Yes.
So you know what, man? I've had enough of this. I'm not going to speak anymore. I'm just doing my job.
Yeah. And that's basically bottom line what it has to deal with. It's like, hey, criminals are always going to say, or bad guys in their, I guess, words. And it does kind of make a little bit of fucking sense. Bad guys are always going to have some shit to say to you because they're bad guys, and they're going to have some complaints because they're bad guys. You know, they're criminals, they're doing shit. And so that's his biggest defense. And that is, unfortunately, most police officers pretty. And it's a good ass defense because it's like, yeah, if you're doing some shit dirty, why wouldn't you lie and be like, yeah, he hit me or he planted those drugs or, you know, whatever you want to say, because obviously the game is the game. You know what I'm saying? That wire type shit. But it's true, you know, when you living in that lifestyle, cops versus robbers type shit.
Of course.
The game is the game.
Of course.
But the shit is one of the last thing I I was tripped out was like when Herschel was like, "Hey, how's my wife and kid?" I was like, "Is he serious?"
Right.
Like at the end when he was just like, hey, get this guy a drink. You know, his first 2 rounds are on me. Hey, how's my wife and kid? No, seriously.
No.
How's my wife and kid? I was like, that's some fucked up ass shit if that was true. But yeah.
Well, this was a good episode.
Yes.
Happy New Beer to that.
Exactly. I cannot wait to episode 3. I've already seen it, and episode 5 comes out today, so I don't know if I'm gonna be able to wait.
I watched 3 and 4 already.
It's so fucking good, man. It's just phenomenal. And yeah, I really want to say more, but I know I can't.
No, we're good.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am Melvin Banks.
And this is Ito.
We are the Carbonation
Conversation.
Reviewing We Own This City, Episode 2, Part 2. And never forget, don't drink and drive.
Drink and vibe.
Peace.
Melvin Crispin.